Hello, this is your special education virtual content specialist with the 6th grade math lesson for April 23rd. This lesson, as with all other lessons, can be found on TeachHub. We provide the unit, the day, the title of the lesson, focus question, learning objectives, and standard and objectives. We also provide instructional and technology guidance for using the resources, implementation guidance for each slide in the lesson, guidance for summarizing, guidance for assessment during instruction, and general methods of engaging with students with disabilities and engaging multilingual learners. So the introduction asks students, how are the pairs of figures alike and how are they different? You can differentiate this by providing a T-chart for students or a Venn diagram so that they can easily write down the similarities and differences between the pairs of figures. Students' answers may vary, but some sample responses for similarities include each pair has a blue figure and a yellow figure, each figure is made up of small squares, or that each yellow figure is made up of 6 squares and each blue figure is made up of 10 squares. The differences could include some pairs have rectangles while others do not. Some pairs have L-shaped figures while some do not. The heights of each pair is going up by 1 every time. 2, 3, 4, 5. The first pair with the height of 2 is the only one with 2 rectangles. And the pair with the height of 4 is the only one with not at least 1 rectangle. Once students are done with that portion of the introduction, you can introduce them to Unit 7, Rational Numbers, Day 28, Common Factors, Part 1. How can we use factors to solve problems? This next portion of the launch will return back to those similarities and differences. And so students should realize that for all of these questions, so 2 and 3 are both factors of 6. How is this reflected in the diagram? 2 is a factor of both 6 and 10. How is this reflected in the diagram? And question 3, 4 is not a factor of either 6 or 10. How is this reflected in the diagram? End the discussion by defining the term factor as one of 2 or more numbers that, when multiplied together, result in a given product. In this particular case, a factor is the height that will make a rectangle have a given area. The explore can be divided into an I do, we do, you do. So the I do says Diego's preparing brownies and cookies for a bake sale. He would like to make equal-sized bags for selling all of the 48 brownies and 64 cookies that he has. Organize your answer to each question so that it can be followed by others. Question 1. How can Diego package all the 48 brownies so that each bag has the same number of them? How many bags can he make and how many brownies will be in each bag? Find all the possible ways to package the brownies. So there are multiple answers that can be found. 1 bag of 48 brownies or 48 bags of 1 brownie, 2 bags of 24 or 24 bags of 2, 3 bags of 16 or 16 bags of 3, 4 bags of 12 or 12 bags of 4 or 6 bags of 8 or 8 bags of 6 brownies. For question 2, it's the we do. This time, how can Diego package all the 64 cookies so that each bag has the same number of them? How many bags can he make and how many cookies will be in each bag? Find all the possible ways to package the cookies. So for the we do, it can be 1 bag of 64 cookies or 64 bags of 1 cookie, 2 bags of 32 cookies or 32 bags of 2 cookies, 4 bags of 16 cookies, or 16 bags of 4 cookies, and lastly 8 bags of 8 cookies. So the you do is, how can Diego package all the 48 brownies and 64 cookies so that each bag has the same combination of items? How many bags can he make, and how many bags of each will be in each bag? Find all the possible ways to package both items. It's highly suggested that to support students with disabilities, you give them processing time and that you read the problem aloud for them. Students who both listen to and read the information will benefit from the extra processing time that you've given them. You should provide manipulatives to aid students who benefit from that hands-on activity. A website that students can use to access virtual manipulatives is didax.com, which also can eliminate a barrier for manipulatives, which is that for visually impaired students, to provide manipulatives that differ by shape rather than color. So instead of using unit cubes, you can use their pattern blocks. This is Didax virtual manipulatives. So we are going to select different manipulatives, and so students are just going to click and drag each of the manipulatives. So for example, hexagon can represent cookies and trapezoids can represent brownies, or maybe squares can represent brownies, but you just want students to be able to use the manipulatives to aid them in thinking about how to group the cookies and brownies. Responses should be 1 bag with 48 brownies and 64 cookies, 2 bags with 24 brownies and 32 cookies, 4 bags with 12 brownies, 16 cookies, 8 bags with 6 brownies and 8 cookies, and lastly 16 bags with 3 brownies and 4 cookies. As with the previous question, allow students to work with Didax pattern blocks, and they should get that the largest amount of combination bags that Diego can make is 16 bags with 3 brownies and 4 cookies, which you should have discussed with students in the previous question. For the summary, provide a sentence starter to the question, how can we use factors to solve problems, so that students can solve on the content of their answer rather than the sentence structure. There is a support video if students need it. If students require additional practice, they can do IXL 6th grade skill E.4, the practice problems from Open Up Resources, or Engage New York Module 2, Lesson 16, Station 1. If you need more support, you can always access the resources that we use to design the lessons, or you can reach out to your virtual content specialist. Thank you.